Tēnā koutou, katoa, ko'i and tokuinua. Alongside Dave Dubnyk, Joel LeBreton, we are here. Game number 2 of the NZIHL 2024 finals, grand finals, boys. Yep. What do we got in store here tonight?
We're the stream team.
The stream team, I like it. We've got excitement in store, I think, is going to be the intensity, action. It's all going to happen.
Yeah, the makings of a perfect storm, I reckon.
Oh, absolutely.
Battle last night, outstanding battle last night. Both teams working really hard. Amazing action and intensity through the whole 60 minutes.
Yeah, it was fast. It was pretty furious. A lot of time without a whistle and right down to the wire. If you watched it yesterday, it came right down to it. So it was a 1-goal game as well, guys.
Yeah.
2-1. So this series is very, very close. And we were wondering, seeing what will happen tonight and who's gonna take this. Could be over tonight too.
It could
Stop
be
it.
over tonight.
It could possibly be
Saturday night, Queenstown.
Absolutely.
We don't want to, put any, any bad vibes going out there yet. We got 60 minutes of hockey ahead of us, and oh my goodness.
Exactly. And you think about though how quickly the game turned in the last 5 minutes there. About 3 inches to the left, and that's taking us to overtime. And we all know what can happen in overtime. Absolutely anything. So it really had everything. And you see that Admirals team really just pick up the pace in that third period, and they got the rewards for it. They got that goal, almost got the second one. But then Stampede didn't give them an inch either. So I think more of the same tonight.
Yeah,
really.
They made it really challenging for their opposition to try to get anything going, any momentum, because after they scored, they kept on the attack and really hammered the Admirals down and didn't let them get any real momentum until that last 5 minutes, where the Admirals kind of demonstrated a little bit more urgency and a little bit of intent. And it's like, if they played the full game with they needed that for 45 minutes beforehand, and then the game would have been entirely different.
Talking to Axel Rescue-Jones's father, and he used an interesting word. He says puck luck. And the idea of those puck bounces in front of Joel that just weren't collected and put in the net, those opportunities not seized.
Yep.
Both teams had, unfortunate moments, but, that early goal also, that early goal also had set Admirals on a back foot. It changes your, even though
approach to the game.
Your mentality.
Absolutely. And that's a good point about that early goal. I mean, maybe it did make them a little tentative and play more defensively, chipping in, as we were talking about last night, chipping the puck in instead of
getting after it,
getting across the blue, setting up, getting your passing going, set up an umbrella. However you want to look at it. So who knows how it bounces tonight?
Yeah, exactly.
Puck bounces, Same referee team tonight.
That's right. So it'll be the same crew.
Same crew there. Same crew up here. Same crew down there. I don't think there's many changes except for
in net for the SkyCity Stampede. Should we announce that now, or wait until after the highlight package?
It's a secret.
Well, how about this? We check out the highlights from yesterday. We'll clip to that, and then we will reveal who is the starting goaltender.
Yeah, the big
SkyCity
reveal.
Stampede.
Don't change the channel.
Yeah, don't touch that dial.
The game is over from the point. Amston winning it for the SkyCity Stampede, 2022 Burgle Cup champions. Tēnā koutou, katoa, ko'i and tokuinua. We are here live. I can't even get the words out. I'm so excited for this grand final matchup in NZIHL action alongside Joel LeBreton, Dave Dubnyk. I'm Ian Wanamaker. We are the commentating crew bringing you this grand final series here in Aotearoa. What do we got here tonight, guys?
Well, we got the battle between the Admirals and the SkyCity Stampede.
We got Dylan Devlin lining up to take the opening face-off. Here we go, 2024 NZIHL Finals. We are just about to be underway, and it is on. Admirals win the face-off. Risky Jones doesn't get it there. Sorry, that's Flynn Hayward Jones. Lots of Joneses in the building. To see that first save right away for the Stampede. McCullum checked. It's a shot, and that's off the shoulder right away in front. Still loose shot. And Stampede open the scoring.
Are there fans out there?
Yeah, so he steps in the zone and it bounces up instead of out. Right for McIntosh. Great move by the defenseman. Ross is there to just put it home.
No clearing attempt there. I went right in the middle, and the defender just stepped right into it and scores. 1-0 Sky City Stampede early on. Do not go anywhere. We've got goals in the first minute of the final. The other team having to react to what you're doing, not the other way around. So
Proactive.
great analysis.
Proactive versus reactive.
Ross to McCullum. These guys connected a lot of points. Shot there and a goal! Jet McCullum.
Slippery fake, and then slides it.
What a wrist shot by Jet McCullum. Him and Ross connect again, and they have doubled their lead now. It's 2-0 Sky City Stampede.
We'll have a quick look at that.
Yeah, look at this. Feeds it off to McCullum.
Watch this fake. See that little bit of a stick handle makes Chubba move on it.
Oh, he bit. Yeah, that was a big toe drag fake, and with being a left-hand shot, he curled it more towards the middle, more net to shoot at, and he makes no mistake. 2-0 Stampede here. Getting harassed from the back from Mason Kennedy. Admirals give it up right to the point. Coyle walks in, shot. Oh, another block there by Moses. Taking a page of the Stampede shot blocking book.
Where both teams just missing the opportunities where the puck just bounces over their stick or just out of reach.
Yeah, but it hasn't broken through. They have been good passing, but we'll see.
Beautiful centering pass, but broken up by Stampede.
And guess who? Amston, probably the MVD for their team. Oh, a giveaway in the middle. Shot there. Oh, what a save and deflection away by Regan. Come the other way. Drop pass from Sestroni to Vesper. Gives it back to Sestroni. He gets it and gets filled in the process, making that shot. Regan streaking down the wing. Goes behind the net. Passes up to Vandermeulen. Vandermeulen to Dag. Dag, does he shoot? No, he passes it off. Kunst. Up to Daigle. Daigle at the top. Shoots. That's blocked by Shinpad.
Oh, good little deflection.
Away.
Boy, that puck was floating in front of an empty net.
Which is a little bit unusual, being cooler down in the South Island.
the coldest rink in the
pass in front, shot there. What a save by Chubba. 2-0 in the last 10 seconds of this period. Admirals just went to sleep there, letting the Stampede go right in. Looking for a shot there. That doesn't get through at all. And Stampede on the pressure now.
Talk about cycling it through your zone. This is an absolute clinic on how to do it.
Looks like Admirals have a penalty.
And deserved so. There's all sorts of pressure there under. There's going to be another one. Dag has it now. They're going to work 5-on-3. They moved it down to Kunz. Kunz across. Blocked by the goaltender stick. Regan over to Vandermeulen. What are the Admirals going to do here? Over to Daigle. Does he shoot? Yes, he goes off a skate though. Low hard shot off the post. Oh, just wide. Over to Vandermeulen. You've seen this combination before. Up to Kunz. Kunz to Daigle at the top. Doesn't shoot. Looking for a good shooting lane. Shot there and a goal! Admirals make it 2-1. Vandermeulen with a wrist shot goal, beating Hasselman for the very first time.
Yes, he's back to Daigle here.
See, unguarded in front.
Oh yeah, he's kind of shot around the Stampede defense there. Used him as a bit of a screen.
It's Vesper. Down to Sestroni. Sestroni has it taken away. Well done by Amston to stick that puck away. Does he shoot to the net? He's got it taken away. Vandermeulen down low to Sestroni. Loads up a one-timer. Bouncing puck. Hasselman makes a save with a blocker. Try to chip it down straight away. And there's a break to Regan on the backhand. He breaks in. Cuts into the middle. Takes out the goalie and the defender at the same time. Whoa.
Slides into home plate, taking out the catcher.
There needs to be from behind. There's 5 criteria for a penalty shot. He does get interfered with. Oh,
no
wow.
Chance
that is
whatsoever.
Marginal call.
From the side.
You've got to be kidding me.
This is extremely pivotal moment in the game, awarding the West Auckland Admirals a chance to tie this game up with 11 seconds to go on a questionable ball at best. What an opportunity, 1-on-none against the goalie Hasselman.
I don't think the crowd's extremely happy. We'll see what happens here.
Daigle.
Oh, yes.
Hasselman, big save.
Hasselman.
Big save by Hasselman.
Penalty shot in a final. That has hardly ever happened, as you'll see it on the replay here. Daigle goes for the shot instead of a deke. Could have gone to the backhand here. He had lots of room, but
He
no.
did. Yeah,
Takes
yeah.
the shot. Face off one. Quick here. Shot. And right away. One-timer by Sistrone. Who
Beautiful work by Sistrone to get that shot away.
Dialing it in against Ross here. Linesman given the instructions. Truck's dropped. Puck sits there loose. McIntosh comes to get it. He sends it up out of the zone. This could do it. Game number 1 of the finals. McIntosh has it. Does he seal it? He sends it down. It goes wide.
Just misses it.
But time does expire. That is the horn. SkyCity Stampede are your winners. Game number 1 of this final.
Well, if you're a Stampede fan, you would have been watching that saying, oh my goodness, what great highlights. Admiral fans just reliving quite a awkward set of events because it was so close. Unfortunate set of events.
Well, they had their chances. You saw that. Anything 3 inches to the left, a little bit here or there. Man, they win the face-off in the last 11 seconds to make that one-time shot. Yeah. Unbelievable stuff. Great action.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So we'll quickly take you down to Matt Chavez, down the roving reporter. He's down on ice level, and he'll have a couple words with you now.
Welcome. We're joined here by SkyCity Stampede number 8, Connor Harrison. Thanks for being here, Connor.
Not a problem, Michael. It's good to be here.
So tell us, last night, good to get that first victory. Best of 3 series just means the one more. How do you rate the team's performance last night?
Not too bad. I think we've still got a lot to give. I think we probably dropped back a little bit after that first period. We came out really strong, a lot of speed, a lot of intensity, and we probably sat back a little bit thinking maybe it was going to be like that the whole game. I think tonight we can definitely level up again.
And 6 minor penalties out there last night. Most notably, you were on a 3v5 PK for a period of time. How did it feel to overcome that and defeat that power play the Admirals had?
That was pretty epic. The boys that were out there killing that, they did an incredible job. Boys were eating pucks, taking shots. That's a massive lift for the team. Even better when you got the crowd in here behind you, and they recognise how big of a high tension situation that was, and they really came to play and help us out there too.
And is there anything in particular you're looking to change up for tonight's strategy against the Admirals for Game 2, a potential series-deciding Burgle Cup winning game?
Yeah, I think so. Probably consistency and finishing on our opportunities. Yeah, we got a couple of quick ones pretty early on, but we want to continue that pressure the whole game.
Welcome. We're joined by West Auckland Admirals number 9, Flynn Hayward-Jones. Thanks for being here before the game, Flynn.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So tell us, last night didn't really go the way the Admirals would have wanted. What do you think you need to change up for tonight's game, Game 2, a must-win to keep yourselves in contention for that Burgle Cup?
I think we started off a bit slow, but we finished really strong, and I think if we can play the way we did in that last period for the whole 60 minutes today, we'll come out with a success.
The 5v3 power play that you had against the Stampede, unable to convert there, is there anything you think you need to change for that power play unit tonight?
I think probably just get a bit more shots on. We're a little bit hesitant or always looking for the perfect play. So I think if we just get more shots on, look for rebounds, then success will come.
And how does the team feel ahead of the game tonight? A lot of pressure, obviously, must-win game. How does that pressure feel?
We're raring to go. It's, we came here to do a job, and it just means we have an extra day to do it.
All the best for tonight. Thanks very much for joining us. Good luck out there.
Thanks, Michael.
Well, that was Michael interviewing both Connor Harrison, the freight train, and Flynn Hayward-Jones. Yeah. So, we were talking about this, the changes. If there's going to be, what does the coach say? Basically, we know the Stampede, just keep up what you're doing. What sort of little, secret squirrel things do you think the Admirals are going to have to do to make this work?
Yeah, they're going to have to hold on to that puck in their ozone and not give it away. So keep hold on to it and play confident.
Yep.
And force it really, really well.
Yeah, basically take the last 5 minutes of last night's game and play it for the full 60.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
That's got to be the game plan. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So we're going to take you down to Matt Chavez down on ice level now.
Over to you, Matt.
Today's second game is going to be back to the wall for the Admirals. Of course, they have to get a result here. the biggest things for me from an analyst position, there were a lot of things that went right for both teams last night. However, the change is going to need to be for the Admirals. They have to get some offense going. They went 57 minutes without a goal, and because of that, they're not going to win anything if they can't get the puck behind a Stampede goaltender. Now tonight, apparently, we might have a change. We'll let the guys upstairs talk about that. The other thing that really needs to be brought out is the effectiveness of the Stampede defense. It was absolutely excellent last night, really holding the Admirals from getting quality shots. They outshot the Stampede, I think it was by 14. You wouldn't have known it by the score sheet because all of the shots made their goalie look really good. They were from a distance. They were not highest of quality shots, but there was a lot of them, and they got puck on net. Today, they have to find quality if they're going to stay in this series. I think it's going to be an interesting start. I don't think it's going to be quite so defensive. We may see a lot of goals early, but of course that's to be seen. That's when they play the game. So we'll turn it over to you guys, and you can talk some goaltender. What do you think, guys?
Should we do the big reveal then?
I think it's the worst kept secret.
maybe. All you, Dave.
Aston Brooks will be starting in net for the Stampede. I mean, part of the whole Stampede structure, I mean, spoiled for choice for goaltending. Like, it's basically draw straws because they're both spectacular goalies, and all season they've been playing each goalie each night when possible.
It's such a luxury to have. You see it so much in the NHL and the higher leagues now, having that 1A, 1B guy. And we're just, as I said, so lucky down here to have such two hugely talented goaltenders.
It's a big call, too, because Joel played exceptional last night. And often in a coaching mind, like you want to sometimes, not tonight, ride the hot goalie. And let them
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's the thing. If it's brought the success to the Stampede, then they're going to continue doing that.
Now, Matt said an interesting thing about quality shots. The other thing about the shots was how many blocked shots were there, the Stampede laying their body on the line. Cullen Burns, he took so many hits, you know, sliding across, as well as the Admirals throwing. But that's playoff hockey, throwing themselves on the line to stop that shot.
Yeah, and I mean that affects the shots the Admirals get recorded as well. You know, because if it's not making it through to the net, you know, they're getting the shots away. But if there's a Stampede body in front.
All right, so just to remind you about the game format, the Grand Final Series is played, it's best of 3, and it doesn't matter how the game is won, but whoever wins it, they get that written down as a W. At the conclusion of Game 2, if each team has won one game, then the third game will be played to determine the series winner. Man, well, you don't want to, we don't want to get any sort of unfortunate things happening, but oh gosh, Sunday would be a spectacular outing.
So there you go, Stampede. They've got this 13th playoff appearance. Haven't they been really good getting here as well? And they haven't missed it since 2014. So continued success that has brought them thus far in their power play.
The other thing I think that is worth mentioning is, these teams have met each other in the finals 5 times so far. This is the 6th Auckland Admirals versus Stampede. Stampede won in 2005, 2017, 2019, 2022. Of course, we had 2 years there where it wasn't contested.
COVID,
and 2018 is when the Admirals took the W, and that's their only championship.
Yeah, so they're well familiar with each other.
Oh,
so
absolutely. Yeah,
here we are. Like, this brings us to more to today, and now, like, the Stampede, what do they got? They can control that neutral zone area. They got that high possession rate that they're going to keep hold of the puck. The other team doesn't have it, then they can't score. So keep defensively dominant, blocking shots, as we mentioned, reduce the power play chances. They got to stay out of the box, be a bit more disciplined and composed where possible. But the Auckland team, what do they got to do? Fix this power play. Man, they went 1 for 6. They didn't convert on a 5-on-3. That was a big momentum killer for them.
100%.
And tidy up that rebound control in front. That first goal that set the tone within the first minute was instant, and it happened really fast. That was a really hard thing for them to come back from.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that was rebound control in the crease that cost them that first goal.
So a couple of guys to watch tonight, often known as Seabass, but he is Colin McIntosh. He was number 2 in league scoring this year. Unbelievable playmaker. He's blocking lots of shots. Good puck control. Uses his big body. Very strong man.
Yep.
He did take a big hit down there, down in the Admiral zone in third period, maybe.
Yeah, and he got up and he kept playing after that. So another one to watch tonight. Continuing to watch again is Justin Daigle. Like, the guy just doesn't ever get off the ice. Elite athlete. He's literally the backbone of that team. He stayed out there almost a full 2 minutes for the 5-on-3. Like, very calm under pressure. He shows the way to go, leading his team. He literally put the team on his back, carries the puck out of the D zone. So 2 excellent players there we got to keep an eye on.
There you go. Trevor Margosh, Ashton Brooks. You look at Ashton Brooks' record, 8-0-0-0-0-0-0. Unblemished.
All W's.
Yep.
So 933 save percentage as well. That's got to be, I think that's the highest in the league.
Yeah, Joel was 9-2, I think.
9.20, and then you got 933.
But, Chubb at 9, like they're within a whisker of each other.
Well, Aston won goalie of the year for the league this year, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think
he
was the top goalie for the NZIHL this year.
And he's been to the finals before, many times before. I'm not sure how many times Hasselman has, but Brooks has certainly backstopped the Stampede to multiple championships.
I like that Schneider and McRae are on the forwards there, just to strike a little fear into the heart of our viewers out there.
Someone told me that he pulled up in a limo somewhere earlier. Possibly with gear, but I don't know if that's true.
They had a private jet chartered for him,
that's right,
but unfortunately it couldn't land due to the conditions in Queenstown today. Maybe later.
Could see him tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
He's like the Queenstown leprechaun myth or something. It just appears.
He's the boogeyman.
Matt, if you are listening, you're well missed.
You are indeed.
So that rounds up the SkyCity Stampede lineup.
Yep.
There's the leadership group there from the Admirals.
I'd like, if somebody's sitting back on the couch, and I was going to say, if you have nothing better to do, click a stopwatch. Time. We were talking about this earlier. How much time does Daigle spend on the ice? I
choose the minutes up.
He does.
He doesn't show it.
No, and he did that interview after what was the second period. It seemed fresh.
Right as rain. Yep.
Cistroni's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, he had that
tonight.
one-time shot off the face-off right near the end of the game. Like,
I think these 2 guys as well, Kunst and Vandermeulen.
Oh, they got to step up.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they've got a good connection, those 2, and if they can start, connecting, making some plays, getting the game opportunities.
Get some puck luck.
Yeah, they're going to need something to break it open, right? Maybe that's what they need, that little bit of luck or whatever we might call it. Opportunity plus skill equals luck sometimes for people.
Oh, absolutely. All right, there's Daigle on the back end. You're going to be lugging the minutes, no doubt, tonight.
Absolutely. What's Coach Cam going to have to say for these boys tonight? So we're only moments away from the puck drop. First thing, I see Scott Armstrong has been added to the Stampede list tonight. So that's wonderful to see.
Yep.
He used to play for the Botany Swarm as well, so I don't know how long he's been down here in Queenstown.
Oh, he's been down here a couple of years now. He's dressed a couple of games this season. He dressed a couple last year as well.
So our officials tonight, Ted Howard, Ryan Keynes, Kyle Matthews, and Richard Button. We jokingly spoke about the crowd down on the ice. 4 officials.
Yes.
And there was more officials on the ice than there were
players at one point.
Skaters. And up here in the box, this team here, Michael pushing the buttons, James on the camera, Matt Chavez down there, the roving reporter, and Ian Wanamaker, Joel LeBreton, and myself, David Dubnik, all here hosting you as the stream team.
The stream team, I like that. I need to get some shirts made for next year, maybe.
How about some merch, Michael?
Some merch, yes.
You too could join the box. Not such an inviting day here in Queenstown. A little bit rainy, but definitely warm here in the rink, and it's going to heat up.
It's about to heat up now.
McIntosh facing off against Vandermeulen. Puck rolls back into Stampede territory. They get it up but not out. Daigle bats it back in behind the net. Rolls around along the boards, start to muscle it out is Ross. Loses it on the red line, picked up by McCallum. Carries it in, muscles his way to the boards, but turns around and Admirals start moving up. Daigle over the blue line, red line, muscles it in over into behind the net, centering. Vandermeulen set up beautifully, just couldn't get a piece of it. And Ross picks it up, hits McCallum, and bats it down the ice where Kennedy picks that up. Kennedy, red line, shot off the glass, batted up, and kicked out by Harrison. The freight train taps it behind the net. Harrison still squirrels around and takes a good shot.
Nice.
Testing Chava.
Yeah, not giving up those that early rebound this
time. No rebound.
Yeah,
gobbles it up.
Straight
gobbles
up.
it up. Yeah. All right. So face off deep in that Admiral zone.
Yeah, gonna go out to Amston here.
Yeah, Amston. Chalice off a pad, and now Admirals march it up. Cistrone can't pick it up. Vesper does. Kennedy back to Vesper.
Nice. Devlin putting in work down there against the boards.
Harrison in there with Cistrone. Whole gang. And Cistrone over the blue line, tangled up in referee skates. And it's batted off the boards onto the red line and into Stampede zone. Burns, Freer, McIntosh on the blue line.
Oh, picked it out of the air beautifully there.
Chamberlain around the back to Stefan. Bumped off the puck by McIntosh, can't enter it, and it's tapped in behind the net. Ross picks it up in the corner, back off the boards to True, takes a slapper from the blue line. Admirals finally gain control in their own zone, off the boards, tapping it in, where Chamberlain picks it up on his own blue line, moves it over the red line and bats it all the way in. They're trying that chase again, or tap and chase. Bouncing puck where Rusty Jones.
Oh, good skate there by Stefan.
He gets snagged there at the very last minute. Matt.
Hey, how you guys doing? I thought I'd come up here and join you for a little while.
Help us out. That was a great break by Resky Jones, but Stefan just robs him at the last minute.
Yeah, he did a good job to get a jump on the blue line there.
Yeah, good work. Both, great defensive work there by Stefan.
Absolutely. You see the intensity as well. It's just picked up massively.
Howard Jones rails it around to the blue line, but not out. And finally, it's battered into Stampede territory where Mitch Freer picks it up. Takes it behind the net. Roby can't move it out. And McCollum picks it up. Gathers it up behind the net. Skates it out a bit. Rusky Jones with it. Moves over the blue line. Roby now. Roby takes a shot, which is pushed to the side of the net. Back to the point. McCollum shot. And it's kicked all the way out. Daigle with it now. He circles and starts to move up. Red line. Daigle moves past Roby and puts it behind the net. And it's banged out to the red line. Lousy bounce on Kennedy and makes him skate to his own zone.
And chipped in there. Picked up Amston. There.
Carries. Cross to Sofer. Sofer hits McCog. McCog loses it, and it's tapped back in to the neutral zone. Sofer with it, being heavily harassed there by Kunst. And it's banged into the red line. Sofer taps it into Admiral corner. Railed around to Kunst. Back to Burns, who fires it all the way into the Admiral corner. A lot of end-to-end here, Joel.
Oh, absolutely. As you see, the intensity, like both teams have just come out hard out of the gate here.
Yeah, Chava stops the puck behind his net. Chalice with it now, waiting for help as the Stampede boys were changing. Chalice shot gathered up nicely by Chava.
Yeah, guys, I'm seeing a lot different tonight. And from up here, you can really notice it. The biggest thing is that you're seeing the defenders play up on both sides. There's at least 3-4 checkers when there's a turnover, and that's changing the dynamic of this game, making it's not quite so end-to-end, but the entire team's moving over, and it's more congested in the lanes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Freer makes a missed glove save, shot by Sistroni, and Brooks, he gobbles that up.
Yeah, that hit Brooks in the face first, dropped straight down, and good work on Sistroni not actually digging away at it there. Good sportsmanship on his part.
I don't think he would have got a nice reception if he had started digging away at that. McCallum didn't take well to him skating up on the goalie there.
Freer with it behind the net, rails it back. Harrison taps it up where Devlin gives chase, but it's turned over to the Admirals in the neutral zone. Railed back into Stampede area. Freer collides with one of the Admirals. But Henry, nice move. Henry does a great job of McCullum, but can't get the shot away.
Good job with the stick there just to tie up the puck and not let him get that shot away.
Hayward Jones takes a shot and it rolls to the corner.
Foot race here.
And Devlin.
Chalice and Daigle. And Daigle comes away with it.
Daigle comes away with it. Yeah. Out of their own zone.
Ooh.
Vesper on the red line, over the blue line. He's got Sistroni with them. Bumped off the puck. Shot. And Brooks slows that down, gobbles it up.
Now that's a perfect example of the problem the Admirals had when they were unable to score last night. You'll see in the defense as the replay happens here, you're still going to have two Stampede players playing on the weak side. They're not overloading on the board side where the puck is, and that's allowing them to keep the strong shots in front of their goaltender.
Stampede move it out. That's True with it. True over the blue line. Ross with it as well. It's bouncing around the red line where True picks it up again. True whiffs on his pass, and Admirals collect it.
They're going to go and dump and chase again.
Chamberlain fires it in. Little flick on to the Admirals blue line, picked up by Howard Jones. Across to Steven, back to Daigle. Daigle puts it up to the red line. And Coyle picks that up, takes it behind his own net. Of course, it's True. Back to Coyle. Coyle back to True. True off the boards. Hits Ross. Ross, he's got McIntosh with him, but he's bumped off the puck. Chamberlain.
Yeah, good job by Daigle playing the body there.
Firing it out all the way down the ice, and icing is the call. That was it. Hayward Jones, sorry. And fires it a little too far.
It was a little too far. It was right under a leg of one of the players there. So I was actually surprised that they called that an icing because, I mean, you can't five-hole a defender and get the call usually. But
it was a retrievable.
It was.
Face-off deep in the Admiral zone. Sorry, Matt.
No, you're good.
Rusky Jones facing off for
No, got that young buck line out there with Robbie and Hurley as well.
The young guns. Moving it up.
Oh, great move by Rusky Jones there.
Yeah, watching the body instead of the puck. And he pushes Chamberlain off the puck. Stops that forward momentum that the Admirals have. He's forced behind the net. Daigle with it. Daigle starts to move it forward over his own blue line. Daigle over the Stampede blue line, still has it. Centering pass. Rooney couldn't get a handle on that, but he was all set. His suitcase was packed, but the plane was late. And Kennedy and Roby having a little bit of a set too, but nothing of it. Amston cross ice to McCullum, who hits Hurley, and it rolls behind the net. That Rescue Jones line has been out there for a while. They're kind of pinned out there at the moment. Winston Lee
Going to get a change here, I think.
rails it up. And McCullum fires on target.
Devlin out, Chalice out.
Yep.
Right. So Devlin giving chase. And the Admirals have it in that Stampede zone. Big setup for Regan right in front. He's bumped off the puck. Crowd liking that.
Yeah, good shot by McCallum there.
I think Regan was working hard to collect the puck and his head was down. Big shot on that from behind the red line. Forcing the Admirals back into their own zone. Kennedy.
Strong forecheck from the Stampede.
Hits Vanderbilt and Kunst. Cross ice. Over the blue line, trying to center, can't. Takes it to the corner, ends up in the corner. Another shot, tangled up in front. And this bounces all the way down into Stampede, into the Admiral territory.
Got a delayed penalty here on the Stampede.
Down.
Delayed penalty.
Yeah, this was a shot. It looks like he took an elbow to the face, if I caught that right, in the side of my eye there. But he hit.
Vandermeulen.
Vandermeulen is the one that's down. It should be on that half board when he comes around. Not here. It'll be here where he gets smashed into the board there,
okay,
and that really does get him. I think he took an elbow to the head there.
Yep, definitely.
Was that the penalty, or was it what was happening in front of the net?
Yeah, that was the penalty there. It's going to be a question as
5 minute.
Yeah, I think I saw the referee say 5 already, but I'll find out if that's the case.
Yeah,
They've got 5 up on the board there for 21 currently.
We'll give you an update.
Yeah, Vandermeulen slow to get off the ice. Guys, I guess what we should talk about, though, and get some opinions about this. Yesterday, it was a 2-minute but 5-on-3 that was critical for the game, and the Admirals did not score. Now, I know Vandermeulen coming off the ice is not ideal for their penalty or for their power play, but is this key, or is this a, what do we do for the offense? Devlin's off.
Devlin is getting sent for that one.
And it's over 10 minutes to go on the clock, so he's not being sent off for just a 10-minute. That's for the game, it seems.
Could be interesting.
Yes.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess Vandermeulen just got caught in a vulnerable position there because when he was on his knees, and Devlin's come in for the check and just caught him up high in the head there.
Yeah. All right, face-off now. This is meaning that the Stampede have got to work hard with the 5-on-4. Admirals' opportunities should be plentiful. Tangling it up in the corners, McIntosh. He's got a couple Admirals, 3 Admirals with him.
Yeah.
Tangling up, chewing up valuable penalty time. There's Kunst with it on the blue line. Puck just rolls out. And Daigle drags it all the way back into his own zone. Being pursued by Ross. Daigle, cross ice. Kunst over the red line, fires it in. And Ross just slaps her down again. All the way behind the net is Daigle.
Oh, he's got a big head of steam up here.
And that was McCog giving chase. Daigle all the way over the blue line, fires it on net. Kick to the side. And Stampede just rail it all the way down again.
Yep. Minute off that penalty now, so 4 minutes left.
And Daigle leaves for Regan. Regan over the red line, still has it. Walks in to the corner, looking for the opportunity.
Oh, great job by McCullum there to separate him from the puck.
And a shot on Brooks. Once again, Admirals on the blue line, shot, blocked, and that's McCullum, fires it all the way down.
Played out by Chubber there as well.
Kennedy being chased by Hurley, and here's
McCog. Great job there.
The dog McCog just chases it down and forces a bit of a fray there in the corner where Admirals have to work to set it up again. Chewing up valuable penalty seconds. Railing it around. Can't keep it in as the Admirals. No one there. Kennedy off the boards. Tap it across. Shot. And Brooks flashes a leather the clam.
Great glove save there.
Across his body.
Yep.
You'll see the replay here, and yeah, that was a leather across the crossbar there. It looked like it might have gone a little bit far, but nothing more intimidating than saying, no, I'll stop this, and you're not going to get anything by me.
Exactly. I think Admirals need to settle a little bit here. You know, they had 5 minutes, and they've got 2:50
a lot
left.
of time.
They've got a lot of time. They need to set up, take their time.
No hurry. Look at the
lanes.
pursuit that the Stampede are having, not allowing the Admirals to set that cycling up in the Stampede zone. Puck bounces to the blue line, but not out. Kunst taps it around. Kunst. And back to the point where Daigle takes a shot. Brooks makes the leg save. Kunst has it again. Daigle passes across to Regan. Regan puts it in front. It's lost where Amston just taps it all the way down the ice.
I'm just looking at the game sheet here, and it looks like Devlin got a 5-minute for checking from behind and a 20-minute game misconduct.
Oh, okay. 20 minutes, that's a lot of time.
It is. He's a big loss for the Stampede there.
He'll be fresh.
He will be.
Shots.
Oh.
Puck bounces in front. Great defensive move. Back to Kunst on the blue line. Kunst fires it in. Brooks makes a kick save, but it up but not out. Once again, Regan with it. Back to the corner. Puck around behind the net. Kunst with it on the blue line. Cross to Daigle. Daigle fakes it to Regan. Regan back to Daigle. Daigle one times it just wide, and Kunst has a crack at it. And they clean it up again. Stampede are doing whatever they can, and they're doing it right.
They are, absolutely. You talk about, you know, the Stampede power play, but their penalty kill is elite.
Changing their horses as well. They've got McIntosh and Roby out there. Burns. Great work by Vandermeulen.
Back out there as well.
Marches it in. And Amston flicks it down to the red line. And high stick is the call.
Yeah.
Wow, what a series.
Yeah, so you'll see this here in the replay. Their wingers are a little too deep in position here. So you have 4 Admirals players down on that goal line and Daigle at the top. If Daigle keeps shooting from up there, they're hoping for rebounds and no more in that situation.
Yeah.
They're not rotating well, and it allows the Stampede to stay nice and high and effective in their defense.
Exactly. You can't just have a shooting gallery with your D-men on the blue line there just dropping bombs in. It's not going to work. You got to find those lanes.
And icing's the call. Wow, there's only half a minute left in this 5-minute penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of whether they score or not, you are really doing a number on the Stampede as far as their stamina is concerned.
Oh, now, sorry to interrupt you, Matt.
No, there's a penalty.
Yes, McIntosh hooking. Holy guacamole.
Oh, wow.
So we'll have 30 seconds of 5-on-3. We'll have probably another minute and a half of 5-on-4. Stampede won't know how to play 5-on-5 hockey by the time this is all finished. Kunst with it. Back to Daigle on the blue line. Daigle walks it to the center. Back and forth. Daigle, Kunst, back to Daigle. Daigle, shot, blocked.
Big block by Soffa there.
Big leg block. Vandermeulen on the blue line, marches it in, cross ice to the corner. Feeds Vandermeulen again on the blue line. Daigle's one times at Brooks. He sets up.
That's going to be a call. They're going to get the boarding on this.
Yeah. And so
that should cancel just about everything for a minute and a half.
Matt, you spoke about high scoring. I think one thing we didn't throw in there was high penalties.
Yeah,
collection.
Yes. I actually was surprised. I mean, I thought that strategically they'd be a little bit more adept on both sides of trying to move the puck and move everybody on the other side. But so far, it's just been defensive dump and chase and very careful hockey.
Yeah, Amston went awkwardly into the boards there, but he seems to be okay on the bench, which is what we like to see. 1 second left in that first penalty to Devlin, and then I guess we can have some 4-on-4.
Right, and reminding you that whatever happened to Vandermeulen, he's back on the ice as well.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
nice to
That's
see
good to
those
see.
boys back doing what they do best.
Absolutely.
All right, so referee's having a moment.
Yeah, this will start 4-on-3 with the face-off. Immediately go to 4-on-4, and then we'll go for about 36 seconds of 5-on-4 advantage
For the Stampede.
for the Stampede, and then that's when it turns into a 5-on-4. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Although the maths are getting difficult.
I'm not sure what the conversation's about, but so that's Regan sitting out. I think it's also Matt about the referees wanting the boys to play hockey. If you allow this stuff to happen, the kettle starts to boil, and it could boil over. I'm not fully up with the elbowing call on Devlin, but with him going with Vandermeulen down on his knees, it's elbow height. Like,
Yeah,
Devlin didn't raise his elbow.
But it was called what? What was it called as far as on the sheet?
On the sheet.
It was the game. It was high. What was the actual penalty on Devlin?
It was.
Game misconduct. They don't say what it is. They just call it.
Okay. Yeah, it might be a boarding call, but regardless, it was. I thought it was a check from behind that he called. I can't be exactly sure. Hey, maybe we have it here.
Game misconduct.
Game misconduct penalty.
Was that him headbutted? No.
Headbutting.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Armstrong.
I'm not really sure that was a headbutt, but he did hit him from behind. What they can put on that, they often edit that sheet as we go. But yeah, I mean it's a hard one in the sense that he comes down and gets hit
as he's falling. He was low.
We have these conversations in rugby all the time. How are you supposed to be responsible for head height and so forth?
When the person's not on, yeah.
But I think we'll see on replay that there was a chance that he could have pulled up.
There's also another penalty that's come up on here for Jordan Chalice, abuse of officials.
That could be why they were discussing
probably why they're having a little conversation down here, sorting out. There's 1 second left in that other penalty. Yeah.
Boy, that's a mess. And now they're talking to Daig out in the middle just to try to sort all this out. But if you count the number of people on there, it's still 4-on-3 to get out there. That's a lot.
It is.
Maybe we should
5 on.
Tell them to stop cheating. It is 5-on.
Yeah,
5-on-3 for 1 second, I'd say.
And then that's 5-on-4. Armstrong goes to the bench. Freer comes out. And now they are getting called for 6 men on the ice because they did exactly that. They both came out to play, and because he switched back onto the bench at the same time the other player came out, he left too early, and they're going to go for two minutes for a bench minor.
I struggle with that. Wow. It was not involved in the play.
Yep.
And when men shift positions, the step out and step on is still within that distance. That same distance. So I struggle with that call.
It might not be a call. They might have just blown it down. I feel like that would be very, very interesting if they.
Because that's the first thing they threw up, the thumb and the 5. So that is definitely what they're talking about.
Yeah. If nothing else, it's creating a good rest for the boys.
Oh yeah.
It is, yes.
Yeah. Big chance to thank our sponsors and our volunteers right now. Big shout out to all those Auckland people that are viewing. Thank you for watching. I don't know what our numbers are looking like, Michael, but it's great to see our stands are full. Stampede fans that were unable to purchase a ticket. I'm sure you're watching. Probably a lot warmer where you are. Cozy. Having a beverage and a bite to eat.
They are removing the 6-man penalty.
They are removing the 6-man penalty? I thought so. Like, it wasn't involved in the play. Yeah.
It is so easy to coach from up here and referee. Have you noticed how good we are up here?
I can see exactly what's going on up here. It's very easy. And not only that, nobody tells me I'm wrong until I look at the chat on there, and then everybody tells me.
Yeah, and everybody's telling us what we're doing wrong. So I think we need a supercomputer to figure out what's, do the math out there.
Yeah, it's still a mess, but we have 5-on-4 on the ice.
There may be a puck drop soon.
Maybe,
yeah.
We'll get back to this.
A lot of dead time.
A hockey game's about to break out here. All right, face-off deep in that Stampede zone. And Daigle keeping it in.
Still a power play for the Admirals.
5-on-4. Brooksy pulls off a great save. Back to Kuntz. Kuntz sets up. And Brooksy makes 2 outstanding saves. 1 pad, 1 glove.
There's a replay for you. You take that first one, it's a quick wrister, and it gets a big rebound, comes all the way out. And that's just a little too long of a setup to take that shot.
Should have one-timed it. Yeah, we're good coaches.
We're so good up here.
Yeah. You too can be good at this. 0800 commentary. Back to Kunst. Kunst across the Daigle on the blue line. Kunst with it. Daigle on the blue line. Shot. Puck just kicked just wide, but it looked a little dangerous there. Daigle skates back for it. McCog giving chase. And it's on the red line. Daigle with it. Daigle mooches it just over the blue line. And Vandermeulen, here's a chance for McCog. McCog skates it in. Turns around. He's looking for help. Nobody there. Rails it in where Rusky Jones has to give chase against Vandermeulen.
They just killed 20 seconds of what was 30 seconds left. So the Admirals don't have much going here. They're going to get back to 5-on-5.
Absolutely. They need to just calm down a bit here and start setting something up.
Vandermeulen trying to letting the boys change. And it's tapped to the red line, but still bouncing around uncollected. And now Cistroni taps it into Stampede behind the net, into Stampede area behind the net. McIntosh taps it off the boards to the red line. Vesper robbed. And
great save there.
Yeah, Amston, in there as a defense, was right in there. He had Ross with him, I believe. Railing it around where McIntosh can't collect it. And Admirals move it up. Amston with it on the behind the net. Can't hit true. Picked up by Quigley. Quigley hits Vesper in the corner. Quigley and Vesper and McIntosh battling it out in the corner, and the puck rolls into no man's land. Matt.
Indeed. How about
this is a replay here with the one-on-one. The Amston just getting a snap off there. And that's a fantastic save by Chaba there.
There's a great move on the blue there, just to tap it, get it around the defenseman.
Great hustle there, but still 0-0 game. 3 minutes, 31 seconds left in this very exciting, heavily penalized game.
Absolutely.
Where the freight train, Harrison, moves past, and there's a hooking. He knows it, and it's called. And Connor Harrison, that was basically the only way they could stop him as he muscled his way past a couple defenders.
Absolutely. That was a bit of a quick whistle there.
I was thinking this.
We had Stampede
still had control. So Harrison still has. Oh no! It was well.
No, there's.
Okay.
Again, we haven't refereed at this level, so we're not informed enough to make comments on these sort of things.
Stop it! We know what we're talking about, boys. Come on.
It's easy to ref from up here.
McIntosh with it. He's got McCullum on the blue line. McIntosh back to McCullum. McCullum walks it across over to Chalice. Chalice in the corner. Freer can't hit McIntosh, and Freer does a great job of robbing the Admirals on the blue line, but Admirals get it and fire it all the way down where Brooks is forced to stop it. McCullum, Ross moves it in, leaves for Chalice, cross ice. McCullum, puck moves to the corner. Ross with it in the corner, back to the point where McCullum has it.
Yeah,
Ross.
This is a prime example of the superior Stampede power play. Snapping it around, looking for those lanes.
Puck in front and
getting opportunities like that.
Lucky Freer. Chubba was pulled to one side, made a great save, and the puck's rolling around in front. Let's have a look.
Absolutely. They're the kind of opportunities that get created when you move it around, make the defence work hard, wait for that opportunity. Oh, just Chubb has just slid to the wrong side and couldn't push off and come back.
Well, he was drawn to that side because of that shot. I think he made that save, or somebody did, and it was just out of position.
Yep.
Well, he made the first save. He can't make the second save.
Exactly. Defense needs to be onto that.
Yep. Yeah, and you'll also see in the replay when you get back to it, the defense was floating out way too high.
I was just going to say, the Stampede close in on those.
Yeah, and the box didn't collapse at the same time, so that's where that rebound goal comes up. And the difference in this game, obviously, is special teams right now. The Admirals have not been able to close, even though they've had more minutes. The Stampede managed to get that and get on the board, and it is a bit more tight, that's for sure. Not as many goals as I thought was going to be here.
Rusty Jones kicks it into Admiral territory. And Roby centering, no one there. Collected by Regan. Regan feeds Kunst on the red line. Kunst feeds Roby badly, and Roby taps one off of a shin pad. And it's behind the net.
All right.
Regan.
1 minute 14 left in this game.
Vandermeulen on the red line. Vandermeulen
in this period,
over the red line, fires it in, looking for a change. Freer picks that up. McCullum, he's got some room to move over the red line. Tries to hit McCog, can't collect it, and it rolls into the corner of the Admirals. Man, you guys are, some fantastic first period action. Back to the point shot. Big feed up to Cristoni. Cristoni can't control it on the blue line, where Freer kind of robs him, and it's fired back into Admiral zone. McCog back to the point, shot. Good save by Chava.
Good shot by McCullum from point there.
And it's in the corner where...
All right, 15 seconds left.
Admirals move it up. That was Sofer that couldn't get a piece of it. Kept in still by McCullum. McCullum hits his own player with a shot. And Freer rails it in.
2 seconds left. That'll see us out, I'd say.
And that ends that first period.
What a first period that was, too.
All right, we're going to go down.
All right. Wow, that had all of the action in that period, didn't it?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
All of the penalties. All right, we're gonna send it down to Matt here. Who's got Justin
Here
Daigle.
with the captain of the Admirals, Justin Daigle. Justin, late goal. They caught one on the power play, but you guys didn't quite get anything on your power plays. What's the difference so far to you on that?
Yeah, I think end of the day we're getting lots of chances. It's sort of hitting the net but not going in. So we just got to try to make sure we're finishing those chances and capitalizing on them. And obviously, got to produce when we get the opportunity on the power play. So yeah, late goal. But at the end of the day, we feel like we came out of that period pretty good. So
yeah, it seemed like you guys were very. You weren't surprised by anything that was going on there. Any way to change the puck luck and get it in your favor from here on out?
I think it's just down to habits, hard work. Everything has to be earned in games like this. You can't hope for puck luck. You got to go create it. So bottom line, second period and third period here, we just got to make sure we're working.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Well, that's the end of that first period. You're right. It had a bit of everything. It had tragedy, had gunfights, had romance.
It did.
Just
it did.
a great novel.
Absolutely.
And we only have 2 more periods left. We're going to find out about that where Dylan Devlin sits on that
penalty,
misconduct.
Gone for the game,
and we'll be very shortly bringing you that second period. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We're back here, end of the intermission after that first wild first
What
period.
a wild period that was, my God.
Yeah, well, so the question you'll be wondering, Dylan Devlin is
Yes.
out for the game.
Yes, game misconduct.
Elbow to the head.
Yep.
And I'm sure everybody's concerned about that. And Vandermeulen's back on the ice, though, so that's a good thing. He's not hurt too badly.
Absolutely.
But the fans will be worried about that. Dylan, contributes a lot to that line.
He's
So
a definite big player to lose.
Cam Freer having to probably do a little bit of Tetris to fill in that role.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll see what those lines look like.
Big shoes to fill, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're sitting at a 1-0 game. With Lachlan Freer scoring that goal on power play. Fantastic work by the Stampede. They
Good hustle in front of the net there.
I don't have the paperwork on penalties in that period, but I do know that the Admirals had great opportunities for power plays.
Yep.
Not capitalizing on that may cost them in the end.
100%. Like it's the same as last night. You can't have a 5-on-3 and not get some good quality opportunities. But it just comes down to the Stampede being so strong defensively that you really need to be top of your game, even when you are 1-2 men up, to be able to actually get those opportunities, open those lanes, move the puck around, get opportunities.
Aston Brooks. We were talking earlier.
Yeah.
Was it the right choice? Because if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. Hasselman did a great job last night, but Brooks, amazing.
Absolutely.
Which goes back to my first statement. The stable's full of just top line horses.
Exactly,
and,
100%. Having that 1A 1B goalie combination is just invaluable. Because he's coming in fresh, and he's such an elite goalie. Whereas Chubba, he played a very hard game. He saw a lot of shots last night. Does that play into some fatigue tonight? Possibly not. He's playing out of his mind as well. So
I'll just check my crystal ball.
Oh yes.
All right, we're only moments away from puck drop. We'll go back on ice.
Absolutely, let's do it. Second period incoming.
Welcome back to Matt Chavez, Joel LeBreton, James on the camera, and Michael on the buttons. Ian Wanamaker just standing off at the moment. All right, Admiral can't control it as it falls into their zone. And batting it all the way down, forcing Burns back behind his own net.
Vandermeulen and Kuntz both heavily forechecking here.
Big lead pass.
Straight to Harrison.
Can't collect that. Centers. Shot. Good shot on net.
Oh, rebound out too.
And the puck rolls to the corner. Vandermeulen feeds Daigle. And it's marched out to the red line. Regan with it over the blue line. Shot square on the numbers where Brooksy gobbles that up. Ashton Brooks, no rebound. But that gives that face-off in the Stampede territory. Vesper will be centering for the Admirals up against McIntosh. Puck rolls to the boards. Ross picks it up, starts to boogie down that left side, controls it all the way into the corner, being heavily dogged by Vesper and Henry, I believe. Cross ice pass to McCullum. Centering.
Ooh,
and
almost picked up by
Freer couldn't pick that one up. Back to the point. Mitchell Freer misses on that where Sestroni picks it up. Centers. Can't be collected. McCullum up to McIntosh. Big saucer pass to Ross. Has to stop for it on the blue line. Moves it in. Across ice to McIntosh. McIntosh shot deflected high. And McIntosh collects a puck batted in by Lockie Freer. Beautiful collection by Freer.
Absolutely. Just the intensity and pressure the Stampede are putting on here is,
Yeah, same as the first period.
Absolutely. And this is what the Admirals need to be doing. They need to be putting that pressure on.
Admirals unable to get any momentum with it as the Stampede are all over them. Rusky Jones loses it in that Admiral zone, but it's collected by Roby. Roby takes one shot and has a chance at a second, but misses. Shot from the point from Coyle. Rolls to the corner. Puck behind the net where Admirals collect. Henry, tap it up. Red line where Burns collects that for the Stampede.
Guys, the Admirals are not getting out of the neutral zone. They are clearing the zone, but they just can't get that last third to go anywhere.
No, absolutely. Yeah, Stampede doing a great job of tying it up in the neutral here. Getting it back in, chasing it down, setting up, moving it around the offensive zone.
This is also allowing the Stampede line changes as they dump it in. They get over the red line, dump it in, forcing the Admirals to get stuck.
Yeah, because they're on that hard change end this period.
And their horses are getting a little tired.
Well, just as you say that, they give up an icing, and it's going to allow them to do exactly that. They did just get 3 fresh bodies out there, but the Admirals, once again, stymied in their defensive end, because you always see 3 of the Stampede in that offensive zone, staying and hanging back, not allowing them to clear, and they're there in time, and they're covering defensively as well.
Puck rolls back. Hayward Jones can't collect, and it's just rolls off of the stick of, is that Campbell out there? Roby feeds the front to the red line, and Burns.
You have an icing.
Yeah, icing's the call. Sorry, I sounded a little, but I see Logan Campbell out there for a skate for the Stampede. Wonderful to see.
Yep.
Young Logan, he's been picked up by Ventura in the States, so he's going to be working there after this season. After these games, I guess. Shot, quick shot off the face-off, and Chuba gloves that one. Face-off to the left of Chuba in the Admiral zone.
Cargo on the draw here.
Back to quick snap.
It's the same play. They're running the same play. It's McCarg sitting in there, going straight to Harrison directly behind him, taking the wrister. It's worked well. Why not keep running it?
Exactly.
One of those has got to go in.
Or at least get a nice juicy rebound to pop out.
And there they finally read that one.
They saw that one coming.
Yeah. Harrison slows down the Admiral. Stefan, and it's on the blue line. Fired back in by Hayward Jones. Back behind the net where McCullum can't hit Harrison, who boogies hard, and he's chasing it down. And he's railed against the boards where Daigle pushes him into the boards. And it's fired back on target by McCullum. And once again, rails around the boards, but not, and finally out. Freer to McIntosh, carries it into his own zone. McIntosh turns around, starts to move it out, and there's going to be a tripping call. And Daigle collects, and Brooksy is halfway down the ice, recognizing that delayed penalty. Well, bit of frustration, Matt. What do you think?
You know, actually, I don't think it was frustration. Whitson Lee's not the type of player for a frustration call. I think he was just caught looking at what the replay shows, kind of a 4-on-3, but they really had good position, especially if they could cross the puck. I don't mind this call. This actually was a pretty good play, but the Admirals need to step up here and watch their spacing.
So here's a chance for the Stampede. Cross ice, shot pass in the slot, back to the point. McIntosh rebound back to the blue line where McCullum collects on the red line. Across to Chalice. Chalice along the boards, fires it into the corner to Ross. Can't pick it up and bat it all the way down the ice. Brooks pushes it all the way up to McIntosh on the red line. Ross leaves for Freer. Railed to the corner, but not out. And finally it does roll out where Chalice gives chase in his own zone.
Nice. Admiral's doing a great job defending this power play here.
Yeah, doing a McIntosh on the blue line, batting at a bouncing puck with Daigle. Two very seasoned horses there. Referee knocked down on his butt with that puck as it flew towards his head. Amston. Harrison bats it in weakly on net, and it's slappered all the way down again. Brooks holds onto it for Amston. Carries behind his net. Harrison over the red line. Can't get it past, or he does get it past Admirals along the boards. Finally said one time and shot bounces in front. Great work by Chubba. That quick one-timer, Matt.
Yeah, did a great job of crossing the ice, which is the first time they've been able to set anything up, but they didn't have Chaba on the wrong side.
Back to Freer. Freer crossed to Amston. Amston puts it on the net. Pushed wide.
That ends the penalty.
And penalty's over, and puck rolls behind the net. Where Burns is up forward at the moment. He's got Freer back to Burns in the corner. Off of a body where Amston collects on the red line. And it rails it in.
Full change for the Stampede here. Yep. 4 or 5.
That's going to bolster the Admirals. And icing is the call.
Regan almost got there. It will bolster them, but they've definitely made a strategic change. Instead of backing off as they did in the first period and sitting in that box and waiting for things to happen to them, a lot of challenge on the blue line has paid off.
Yes.
That allowed the Stampede, or pressed the Stampede into one side or the other, and they really couldn't shift ice from the strong to the weak side.
I don't
paid off.
I don't want to say I told you so, but Matt, this is exactly what we were talking about off air. That's exactly what the Admirals have to do on their power. On the penalty kill, they have to be more aggressive in the presence. McCullum shot off of something there, maybe a head or
that hit the chest pad and then the crossbar and stayed in.
Centering, keeping it in. Fantastic work.
Great work by
there, Freer. Huge hustle by McIntosh to control the puck behind the net. He's still looking for somebody to pass to. But picked up, railed up, but not out. And Freer just taps it back in behind the net. Controlled by McCullum now. McCullum into the corner where it rolls behind the net. McIntosh, Ross puck bounces over his stick. McCullum moving around.
This looks like a 5-on-5 power play for the Stampede.
It really does, doesn't it?
Stop it.
Talk about cycling in your zone.
Yeah. One time. And Chubba, see, Freer doesn't take a big slapper. He just lobs it, knowing that that puck in front of the net's going to cause problems. Yeah. But Chubba gloves that.
C-Mac came very close to getting a piece of timber to that as well, getting the redirect in front of the net, and also screening Chubba at the same time. So,
yeah, great knuckleball there.
Knuckler, the changeup.
I was watching the entire shift with Ross. We'll talk in a minute.
All right. Harrison pushes it behind the net. Puck couldn't get a piece of it, was Chalice, I believe, and Chaba just gloves that.
Yeah, so the last shift, I was watching Nolan Ross, the league MVP, and they're just not finding him. This is an offensive weapon that really needs to get fed. Yes. And 22 goals, 20 assists, and he just looked like an also or a decoy there, and he wasn't being doubled. So Stampede, if they need to get their offense going, they might want to look to their MVP.
Can't keep it in. And finally, dumped back into Admiral zone. Coyle kicks it forward over the red line. Coyle still involved. He's kind of trapped out there, to be fair. He's on the far line, on the far side. Finally, he gets off without a stick. Puck bouncing around in the feet behind the net. And Admirals start to march it out. Up, but not hitting any metal, so it's continued play on this low ceiling here in Queenstown. 2 sticks laying on the ice.
Yeah.
Looks like a bonfire. Admirals moving it up. Big feed forward. 3 sticks on the ice now. Amston over the red line, fires it in, just rolls it in behind the net. We've got an obstacle course out there with sticks. Chamberlain fires it in and skates to the bench. Roby flicks it up onto the red line, bounces to the blue line. And oh, here's a chance. Quigley, but loses the race with Freer.
Great heads up by Freer there.
Hurley with it now over the blue line. Hurley to the corner, hammers on the brakes, tries to center, bounces, and Roby just swinging a hit.
Swinging it, yeah. Good stick by Dake there actually to send that to the rafters.
Because he actually had a piece of that. Roby had a piece of that.
He did. And the deflection was actually at a good time for the Admirals here so that they could get a couple of changes that they really do need. They're behind on the changes, and these long sequences are an advantage for the Stampede at the moment.
Absolutely.
Sofer to take this one.
Puck rolls back, knocked all the way back. Chamberlain Rooney giving chase. But McCog picks it up. McCog hits Freer, who puck bounces over his skate.
Ooh. Right location, no one home though.
Yeah, location. But yes, just a lot of mishandled pucks.
Yes.
McCollum slows things down to the red line. Kennedy. Big slapper off the glass. That's Freer. And puck bouncing, where McIntosh is forced to come back to collect it. McCog is forced to collect it. Just not settled at the moment, would you say, Joel?
No, absolutely. I think the Stampede are kind of scrambling a little bit here, to be honest. And it's good work by the Admirals.
Big feed pass there, but ran out of real estate was Rooney. Puck rolling around along the boards. Anybody's puck at the moment. Regan. Sorry, not Rooney. Regan, yes, had that chance. Forward pass. Hand pass, sorry.
Hand pass there. Yeah, so just a shout here. Alex Regan had a great chance to get a backhand off, and he had a spot to shoot at. Mitchell Freer with some excellent back checking to get back in time and knock that one down and not allow a good shot. That's a great defensive stop.
Absolutely, yes.
Face off in that Stampede zone to the right of Brooks. McIntosh up against Vandermeer. Off the boards, batted out to Kennedy in his own zone. Kennedy ends up on Ross's stick. Ross skates it in. Back to the point where Amston has it. Back to Ross in the corner. Ross moves in slowly, dangles a bit, and loses it eventually. Amston, shot off of a skate. Centering, Amston can't collect that in front of the net. Off to McIntosh, who's forced to chase it in the corner. McIntosh feeds Burns on the far side. Burns takes that shot. Bouncing rebound behind the net. And it's railed around to the far side where Kennedy collects for the Admirals. Big forward pass. He hits Regan. Regan shoots, scores.
Same play.
Exactly what happened last time.
Absolutely. That was a bad change on the Stampede's behalf there.
Yeah.
They didn't see Regan streaking out the back there. Long stretch pass.
That's secret squirrel.
Well, and the funny thing was that they were looking at it, but the prior line that was out there defensively, you can see it here. The prior line knew it was coming. Great shot by Regan.
Yep.
But this time when they made the change, they weren't expecting it, run the same play and get a much different result. And just as a bonus to that, the one time that the Admirals won in Auckland, Regan scored a hat trick for all 3 goals.
Oh, wow. There you go.
All right, so anybody's game as Chella skates it on. Shot square on the money, forcing Chubba to collect. I don't know what he's giving the.
Oh, he got a little tap. You'll see it on the replay
Yeah, but
here.
the tap was from
His own player.
From his own player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a little. Somebody was going by and they were just having a little conversation about what they're doing after the game.
Exactly.
Well, here we go. Face off in that Admiral zone. Back to the point. Trude bats it into the corner. Behind the net is Harrison, Connor Harrison. So it looks like McCog has filled that role of Dylan Devlin.
Yep.
And Chalice feeds McCog, rails it in. Up, stopped by Chalice, but then Kennedy over the red line, hits, can't quite hit Sestroni. Sestroni's bumped against the boards by True, and it's railed up where Daigle's forced to give chase. Daigle moving it over the red line. He's got some momentum. Shot off a stick. And Stampede rail it up. And Admirals can't keep it in.
Great chase down by McCarg there.
Daigle up to the red line on Sestroni's stick. And Sestroni takes a shot right on Brooks's chest from the red line. Big feed here from just a little too far for Rusky Jones. And Chamberlain has it on the blue line. Chamberlain bumped off, hits. That was Hurley who stepped on a stick and wasn't able to control the puck. No penalty there as I think that was Roby that was knocked down.
Yep.
And Daigle with it behind his net.
The Admirals are really taking it to the Stampede here. You can just see the Stampede is scrambling a little bit, and Admirals are using this opportunity to start.
That old chestnut Stevens trying to play that Regan card, yeah, which is working. Maybe that's the change. Stretch pass instead of the dump and chase.
Maybe, yes.
Guys, is Justin Daigle still on the ice? Like, has he come off the ice in the second period?
Probably not.
Good question.
I don't think if he has, it hasn't been for long.
5 minutes, 47 seconds left in this second period. Very exciting.
Yes.
Once again, a whole bunch of drama was, hockey is involved, but penalties, goals, bit of everything.
Yeah, and I was going to say something before. It was the first time I saw Daigle actually go as far as the goal line as he came in on the last offensive chance. He hasn't been skating forward much, but he's been out there in charge of that defense for a very long time. Something to watch.
What a leader. Centering, just tipped where Lockie Freer couldn't collect. He rails it in, forcing Chaba behind the net to stop the puck. A huge harassment there by Ross, who's won it. Centers, bouncing puck though. And Kennedy collects it and taps it to the red line. Burns collects that. Amston over the red line, fires it in. Chuba's calling for icing, but no such luck. And Kennedy slows things down on his own blue line. Over the red line, dumps it up. Burns picks that up. Burns feeds Freer. Freer sauces it to the corner. Big bounce.
Chalice in there in the corner trying to get out.
Big battle in the corner there as Winston Lee pushed up against the referee. And it's batted all the way back to Amston. Feeds McCog. Harrison with it. Collects that nicely. Takes it to the corner, around to Chalice on the far side, back to Amston on the point. Amston fires off a skate. Burns is forced to boogie back and pushes it to the red line where McCog picks it up. He's got some help too. To the corner where Chalice picks it up, centering pass, no one there. Blue line shot. Little kind of like nothing in it, but it right on the money. Moving to the camp backhand was McCog. Tries that backhand. And again, Max McCog with it along the boards. Steering away. Misses his intended receiver of a pass. McCullum forced onto the blue line. Cross ice. Hurley shot. Pushed high.
Rocket of a shot there.
A bit of time on that shot. Across to Hurley again. Hurley takes another shot, deflected wide. railing it around was Rusky Jones. Picked up in the corner by McCullum. Back to McCullum from McCog. McCullum walks it in takes a shot. And it rolls to the corner and along the boards. Back behind the net. Or Hurley pushed up against the boards, but fighting hard for that puck. And it's all the way around. Where Freer just
good job to keep that in.
Bad bounce right behind those boards. Not very predictable.
And they still can't get it out.
No. Slapper slowed down there. Up. They're kind of hemmed in at the moment. Probably wanting a change.
They're probably wanting their captain back out on the ice.
Yeah.
Because that's the only difference here. They just can't get it out. That's going to go for 2 minutes. Nope, they're saying it's deflected. That's very fortunate.
Yeah.
That's very
Let's
fortunate.
have a look. Let's look at our crystal ball here. Look at this shot by Hurley. Just
a little bit high.
Yeah. Was it deflected? But
now that one wasn't deflected. It was just a high shot. It just went right over Chaba's mask, but not by much.
Not by much.
All right, face off deep against Admiral zone. Railing it around. Up but not out again. Just a tap back behind the net where Daigle's forced again to give chase. McIntosh pushed off the puck in the corner.
And some relief.
Yes, finally. Yes. And a big tackle.
Wonder if we'll get a penalty shot out of that one.
Yes!
Oh my God!
You said it.
No, I think that had the same criteria. So we were talking about it yesterday. I know you guys were thinking it was a little soft last night. I did look up Rule 24. Here it is on the replay coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute because I think we'll have a little time.
Absolutely.
But as Ross comes forward, he's the MVP, of course, and he's
little slash hook.
Yep. And he's taken down, and then as soon as Daig hits it, that kills it. But the 4 criteria: you have to be in the offense or the neutral zone. You have to have the guy behind you. You have to have a penalty called against you, and you have to have the scoring opportunity degraded in some way. That meets all 4.
It really does.
I thought yesterday, personally, when you look at it, it looked a little suspect, but at the same time, if you went through the checklist, it was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Criteria.
But we do have a penalty shot, and we'll leave Mr. Ross to do his work.
Absolutely.
Master of deception.
Just throws Chubba there.
Drops his shoulder. Chubba drops. And a soft
backhand. Look, we'll get to watch this again. Oh, little fake.
Yep.
Freezes him. Backhand, top shelf. Thanks for coming.
Kind of pretty.
Very pretty.
Just all the makings. So
2 minutes left in this period.
Oh my goodness. Fortunate time for the Stampede to get that goal.
Very fortunate, yes.
Oops, collision there between Harrison and Chalice. And this, even that penalty shot actually gives the boys a breath as well, which is something that you don't really take into effect, but this is late in a... And there's Regan over the blue line, tapped off the puck. Runs into... Chamberlain runs into Stefan, and Burns with it. Burns back to Amston. Amston in his own zone, whiffs on it. Regan's pursuing heavily, and Burns fires it down, but easily picked up.
I think Stampede really needs to go on the attack here.
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of sitting back for some reason. I don't know what's going on there.
No.
And it rails down where Amston collects behind his own net. He feeds Burns. Burns. And Regan carries over the blue line, rolls to the corner, and fired up and around and out. And here's a chance for Sofer, who's hustling down. The puck doesn't make it all the way. And it rolls to the red line as it's dumped out by the Admirals. Offside's the call.
Yeah, had Sofa changing there. Oh, you get another look at this beautiful penalty shot. Yeah, little fake shot, freezing him up. Yeah, couldn't slide back.
Chubba just said, "Yep, you got me."
Well, it'd come out of his net and he couldn't push back across. You know, there was nothing he could really do.
Back to Frere to McCullum, who's got a little bit of room. McCullum boogies all the way in, shot, and what's that all about? Oh, the clock wasn't running. Oh,
Clock's
no.
wrong.
He just he's giving a little bit of a naughty finger, or not the naughty finger, but a finger shake to the score box, saying, "Come on, people, get that clock running." Now's not the time you don't want the clock to run. With only 29 seconds left. The boys need that break.
Yeah, I think they're going to run this to 24, and then it'll be a center ice face-off. Potentially, we'll see if.
Not
That's
sure.
one. It depends on where and when and a bunch of other things, but we'll see what Ryan says here.
All right. So no, it looks like the face-off will be in the Admiral zone to the right of Chell. What are we down to now? I can't see.
26.
26 seconds.
So McIntosh, Rock, McCullum. Admirals win that. Welding it up, but not out. Where it's in the corner. McIntosh backs to the point. Big slapper off an ankle from Frere, and it's fired up. Winston Lee giving chase. Centering, sneaky little thing. Where I don't think Moses was quite ready for that. And that's the end of the first period. You couldn't even hear the buzzer go. It was only the whistle that made us aware that that was the end of the second period.
Yeah, you guys were talking. We do need to talk about the goal and the Stampede are ahead. But you both said, why aren't they jumping on offensively? Why aren't they? So two things. Moses did a great job defensively getting in lanes.
Yep.
And Alex Regan stretching them and keeping them honest. So I'm going to try and jump down there. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay, you flutter down there. All right, well, that's the end of the second period.
Yes. What a second period it was, too.
Yeah, much like that first, a little bit of everything. That penalties, goals, penalty shot.
Yep.
Oof.
Penalty shot. Yeah, what a shot that was.
Yeah,
my God.
Ross taking it to Chubba.
Yes.
But this also tells you why Ross was, leading
League
scorer.
MVP, yeah.
All right, we're going to go down to Matt Chavez down on ice level. He's going to talk to Mitchell Frere.
All right, after a second period, Mitchell Frere here with us. You guys took the lead. How about that penalty shot? What'd you see?
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice momentum swing there. Felt like we had the game pretty much under control at 5-on-5, but it was nice to get that one on the ball just to get the lead again. So.
And that one finally paid you off as far as getting back ahead because you had control for most of that second half of that second period. So the obvious question here is, how do you finish them off? How do you get that cup? How do you get 20 more minutes to get over that line?
Look, I think if we stay 5-on-5, we're down there D, they're getting tired, they're starting to cheat. I think if we just stay 5-on-5, roll our 4 lines, we've got a lot of legs left, so we'll finish them off there.
All right, there you go. Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. But Mitchell said it perfectly. Stay out of the box. 5 players on the ice.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen. Lots
absolutely.
of unfortunate things occur if you go if you're playing with 4 players. They have done well at times, but third period, tired legs, Dylan Devlin not there.
Yep.
All those things can cause problems.
Absolutely. And I mean, Admirals, if we do continue along this same track, they need to convert their power play.
So Matt was mentioning before he went down to interview Mitchell about that change. They snuck somebody up front, mostly I think it was Regan who capitalized on that once. But by creating that, forcing the defense to keep an eye behind them, head on a swivel, making them keeping them honest.
Exactly. Well, it does. It is a good play to stretch the defense out like that, because then they can't sit on the blue line and cycle it through the zone, which the Stampede have been so good at this entire game, and Admirals have not been able to cycle it in their zone as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that worked. They did it 3 times, and it worked once, and that's all it has to do is just keep trying that, and that changes from that dump and chase, which wasn't working that well for them.
No. And I saw the Stampede were kind of transitioning into that dump and chase game in the middle of that second period there a little bit, when the Admirals had them on their heels quite a lot. So I think Admirals just need to maintain the pressure they've currently got, draw back the momentum from being 2-1 down, and we're going to see an exciting third period regardless.
It looks like Max McCog is slotted into that Dylan Devlin position while Dylan's been sent to the dressing room.
Yes.
And he slotted in well. He's he's doing a lot of heavy lifting on that line, and he's a big unit. So
absolutely, he's a good player. He's great on the forecheck and just chases down all those pucks.
Yeah. So anyway, this ends the second period. We're going to bring you the third most exciting period of the game. It looks like it's going to happen. We have 2-1. I'm Dave Dubnick.
I'm Joel LeBreton.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Indeed.
And we're back here, third period, beginning of the third period. Oh my goodness. Now what happens, Matt?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, there's a lot that can happen here, a lot of scenarios.
Absolutely.
Let's talk scenarios here. It's 2-1, Stampede are ahead. If they come out ahead, and again, it's an overtime situation. There will be a winner tonight on game 2, and if it's the Stampede, they take the cup.
Exactly.
Right. So I talked of.
It's all
Sorry.
happening.
Yeah, it's all happening up here. I talked of the impact first thing, third period, coming out, stamping your presence on that, and that's what's got to happen. The stamping may be a negative or it may be a positive. I'm not too sure.
Exactly.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And the Admirals need to put a stamp on it as well. They're a goal down. They must score 2 goals tonight, at least, in order to stay in this series. That's non-negotiable at this point.
That's the math.
That's the math.
Possibly even more.
Possibly more. Yeah.
So I think that things will change around the 7 minutes left at that mark, if the score remains as tight as it is. The idea of sort of pulling all stops, making some risky decisions to make it work.
Yeah, and that, moving forward into a high-pressure third period game like this, it's going to come down to who makes more mistakes. You know, there's going to be opportunities both sides of the puck, and it's just going to come down to who can handle that pressure.
Because I don't remember, Matt, you and I were talking, I'm not sure if it was on air or not, about Daigle's influence.
Oh.
Like you summed it up well. Do it again.
Oh, well, the main problem the Admirals had defensively was when he was not on the ice. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And I was saying he's really been the most influential person on the ice for the last 2 games. When he's on it, the Admirals are okay. When he's not, they're in trouble.
We can think all we want, but let's see what the action is. Kuntz dumps it into Stampede area. Bouncing puck. Amston rolls it around. And it's waved off, forcing Daigle all the way back into his own zone behind the net.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting set play they had on that first face-off right there. You can see Daigle had pushed right up to the centre circle. The centerman won it straight back to him, and yeah, they were away.
Kuntz tries to hit Vandermeulen on the blue line, but Amston got in the way of that, and it's back in the neutral zone. Burns is forced to give chase against Stroni. Quick shot there by Vandermeulen.
Nicely on target though.
And collected by the Admirals. Just trying to center it. But Brooks covers up.
Yeah, we're already seeing this, guys. The big change, I think, is you're going to see, in hockey terminology, if you're actually writing on a whiteboard, you got Daigle playing F4. Basically, he's going to jump everything he can, any chance he can. And that's been evident right from the first face-off.
Oops,
yeah,
unhappy.
Absolutely, but I mean, you know, that's all well and good, but high risk, high reward. You know, if you've got your defenseman pinching up like that.
How lucky are we to have like 50-yard line seats here on a spectacular game like this? Big feed up. Fair battling for it. Ross picks it up, feeds too far back. And McCollum takes a shot from beyond the blue line. A couple set plays didn't come to fruition. Passes weren't on the money.
No, and it's, I think you kind of have to start throwing the X's nose out a little bit from the face-offs. You still see a couple of choices, but it depends on who wins it, and winning face-offs in the third is important.
Every step, every shift, every puck handle will become critical as Daigle controls, feeds Sestroni. Sestroni taps it in, where McCollum just picks it up and saucers it all the way down, and icing is the call. Not sure about that, whether he missed his opportunity. Perhaps he expected somebody to be breaking down. I'm not sure. Miscommunication, we'll call it.
Yep.
And this will be a set play again here. Vandermeulen is in the middle. They asked for it on the right side. This will go back to Regan for a quick shot.
Yeah, Regan on that blue line.
He didn't win it.
No, McIntosh tangled him up. And Ross starts to move it up. Freer and Ross just saucers it in as they go for a line change.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a post-icing line change.
That's it. Daigle on the red line, fires it in. It's railed to the corner, and behind the net, picked up by Amston. Amston, puck takes a funny bounce off the boards, and Amston still slices it out to the red line.
Well to get that out, yeah.
Kennedy dodges Roby's hit and pushes it into Stampede area, where Amston can't hit his mark. Kunst intercepts that. Burns taps it up off the boards to Kennedy on the red line. Kennedy bumped off the puck, but Rusky Jones collects, and Harrison gives chase. Kennedy pushes it onto the neutral zone. Burns flicks it up, hits Chamberlain. Chamberlain picks it up and just pushes it down into the corner. Amston cross to Burns. Burns, saucer pass to McCog. A little bit of caution here, I think.
Yeah, that's the same word I was going to use.
Absolutely.
Everybody's playing with caution.
Yeah, spending a lot of time in the neutral zone here, both teams.
All right, Chalice over the red line, saucers it in on the money. And it's railed up, kept in by True. And Chalice dumps behind the boards. McIntosh.
Look at
or
you see
McCog, sorry.
3 players hanging back for the Stampede there, letting those 2 do the work.
Coyle, shot on the money. But that easy shot like that's not going to get past Chava.
Cautious
No,
offense,
not.
don't get burned, don't give up an odd man rush, don't give up a situation where the puck, the Alex Regan play that we saw a little bit ago, they're playing against that, and they're willing to just sit back, not exactly park the bus, but only 2 people going behind the goal line's unusual for them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I like if there is nobody going deep like Regan was, there's no need to play like that. It's once he starts to boogie, they have to catch up to him. There you go. There's some shot off a pad. Kept in by Freer. Tap to the corner. Daigle picks that up. Kunst with it along the boards. Kunst cross ice. Intercepted by Ross. Can't get past Hayward Jones. And McIntosh centers. But can't be collected. And it'll be a hand pass, which is I think it was more about trying to just get the puck from his face.
Yeah.
It was sticks and pucks and faces, just not a good match. Not a good combination. Face off in the offside dot. And McIntosh kind of gets it just into the blue line, but
yeah, Rooney got elbowed there. That's what's going to get called here.
so we talked about that, keeping the lid on it. Let's have a look.
Yeah, what's this one here again? Just
All right,
missed it, but
yes.
yeah, it will be, yeah.
So here we go. Here we go. Fantastic opportunity for the Admirals.
Absolutely. You've got to see their power play click a little bit here. You know, again, just cycling it, looking for those lanes, getting some opportunities.
Sofer facing off for SkyCity Stampede. Daigle on the blue line, walks it across, feeds Vandermeer. Back to Daigle one times it. Kick save by Brooks. Up but not out, and finally pushed out. No, it wasn't pushed out. Back to the corner where Rooney has it. Rooney carries to behind the net. So for giving chase, Daigle on that blue line. Back feeds Kunz. Kunz shot. Ooh, just wide, I believe.
Yep.
Vandermeulen feeds Daigle one time. It back to the corner after Brooks makes that save. Vandermeulen being harassed by Amston, who does a great job, bats it all the way down the ice.
That's what you want to see from the Admirals' power play, though. You know, moving it around, getting those shots away.
Daigle
Opportunities.
falling over. Here's a chance. Rusky Jones takes a shot, and a whistle's blown. I think he thought perhaps that Chaba had caught that puck, but it was a great deflection. Rusky Jones robs the, I think it was Henry perhaps.
Yep.
Does a great job of,
So it's a great way to kill a penalty.
yeah, taking shots on the opponent's goal.
Yeah, if I read that right, I think the linesman thought that the goal was off the mount, and it was not. And that's
okay.
why the face-off where it is.
All right, back to the point, shot, big deflection. Brooks is forced to skate it out. Fires it off the boards, feeds Vesper, but Brooks is back in net. And a big saucer pass all the way down, saucer shot all the way down the ice, forcing Chaba to stop it.
40 seconds to go on this power play. Worth noting, IIHF doesn't have the trapezoid for the goaltender.
Oh, yeah.
And there's McIntosh with it on his own blue line. Turns around, being heavily harassed by Kennedy. Fires it down after chewing up a few seconds stick handling.
McCarg first to the puck there as well.
20 seconds. McCog's got no help though. There's not a yellow jersey in sight. There's a chance. There's Vesper. Vesper over the blue line, muscled off the puck. And Sofer pushed up against the boards, and it's fired out by McCog, and that should chew up that penalty.
We're back to full strength.
Chamberlain backhands it around to his brother. Carries behind the net. And
Another penalty coming up. That's going to be Chalice.
Chalice hooking or holding?
No, hooking. You're right.
Hooking, yep.
He's not happy.
No, let's see this one here again. Oh, okay, yep. Yep, I could see how that would get called.
Well, that replay shows it.
Absolutely.
Oof, just killed a penalty, and they're back on 4.
Exactly. Again, great opportunity for the Admirals here.
Yeah, the Stampede are going to start, their top lines are going to start getting tired if they continue to be out there at 4-on-4. Back behind the net, moving in, skating in, big centering pass, but no one there. Kunz taps it behind the net. Puck's tangled up in some feet. Still tangled up in some feet. And saucered all the way down. And here's Rusky Jones, who's a little bit slippery, and it's fired back down again. I think that Chabo miscommunicated and cleared it. And here's a chance again. Ross, another robbery. McIntosh backhands it to Burns, saucers it down off of a glove and rolls into Admiral territory. Daigle with it. Daigle puts it up, and again, saucered down. And Ross gives chase and ends up with the puck. He's got some help this time, but Daigle intercepts that.
Picks it off.
Daigle can't hit his mark. And McIntosh, he's one-on-one. Here's Colin McIntosh. He's got some help. And Amston can't control that. Back to McIntosh, still controlling that as a penalty. McIntosh just stick handling, looking for some help, can't center. And finally, Kunz collects it and across ice to Vandermeulen. Vandermeulen takes it to the corner. And he tried pretty sneaky there to bounce it off the body as it looked like he was going around behind the net, but Brooks stopped that. 24 seconds left.
You can see Mac just coming in there. Little dish across to Amston, just a little off the mark though. But great way to chew up some time.
Yeah, if nothing else, almost getting a goal. Puck rolls in front, and it's tapped back to the point where Kennedy takes a shot. Blocker save. Puck rolls along the boards. And big slapper there from Frere. And Harrison giving chase. I think that'll chew up that penalty. Great work there by McCog. And Freer with it. Freer's got Chalice railing down that side. Can't quite get a handle on it, but he did touch it, so no icing. Henry with it on the blue line. Fires it to the red line. Chance for Henry. Shot. And Brooks covers up. Holy moly.
Well, Chalice trying to jump out of the penalty box and get a runner here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what's going to be on the replay. But no, the other pass here. But the Admirals having a very difficult time breaking out. This actually encourages more aggressive play by the Stampede. If they can't score on a power play, the Admirals can't get anything behind them. You may as well try to jump every play and do everything you can as the Stampede.
Oh,
and that fits them to a T right now.
Rails it around. He's got Rusky Jones. And great break up there by Stefan. Keeping it in just. Or Vandermeulen, I believe it was. Ends up in the Stampede zone. Coyle, sorry. Bouncing around along the boards. Hurley centering, can't. And Roby over the red line. Roby puts it down, allowing them to change. Big mistake there by.
Oh, what a pass.
Great work. Just spectacular work there by Freer, and scores! Guess who?
Yes.
The Ross Monster.
Oh, that is a straight through the heart of the Admirals there.
All that work. It starts with that fantastic work by McIntosh and Freer to continue to pursue that puck.
Here's the replay.
Yeah, you can see it on the replay there. Wheels it around the bottom.
What a combination.
Two Admirals behind the net there.
Yeah, his one time, there is no time spent. Puck is dropped.
Yeah, I think Chris Chamberlain got a little bit caught puck watching there, and it didn't take long to get burned. Ross in the right space, and a great MVP level shot. He's got him another goal.
Daigle behind his own net. They've got to get some mojo going. As Rooney over the blue line, over the blue line. Regan arches it in, tries to find that top corner.
Shot.
Very, very close. Picks it up. And Kennedy behind the net, tapping it around. Daigle with it, Daigle. Rooney with it. Regan. Kuntz now. Daigle feeds Kunst on the red line. Cross ice. Vandermeulen steps over the line, but has the puck knocked off his stick. Burns feeds McCog, who just taps it, so no icing is the call. Big lead pass. Picked up by McCollum. Feeds Freer in his own zone. McCollum. Chalice can't quite hit Harrison, but it is banged into Admiral territory. Centering pass. McCog couldn't get a handle on it. And offside's the call. Oof.
Just brought it back across, but
let's have a look at that. There it is again.
Yeah.
Feeds McIntosh. So dangerous behind the net. And Ross, notice that there is no time spent on that one-timer.
no, he's down on one knee.
Yeah,
just snipes it top
fully
shelf.
powered, full bore.
That's why he scored so many goals this year.
Harrison over the blue line. Taps it just about past Kennedy. Kennedy stops it, pushes it to the red line. Freer.
That almost didn't come out of the rafters. That was so high.
Yeah, hits a little power box up there. Could cause problems. The last thing we want is a power outage. With 8 minutes, 17 seconds left, 3-1.
In the last minute or so, the Admirals have been pretty aggressive. It's something I would have liked to have seen before they were 2 goals down, but now they have no choice.
That's right.
They have to start getting the offense going.
They've got,
Huge hustle there from McCog to tap it in on. Oh. And a little miscommunication between Chava, who cleared it into the feet of his player and shot just wide of the net by McCollum. Sofer rails it around. McCullum gives chase against Henry. There's a chance. Off the body of Sofer. Sofer behind the net, being heavily pushed around by Kennedy. Harassed. And Sofer ends up with it. Sofer still has it. He's getting clobbered in there, but he stands up and still nothing. And now there's a tripping.
Yeah.
Sofer, he would have been so annoying back there. It took that to just get him off the puck.
Absolutely.
Like a dog, you know, with that chew toy.
Working down low here, down on the knees.
Like
the Admirals players in there, both pushing him up against the boards.
So the referee's watching it closely.
McCarg just gets his legs ripped from under him.
So here's a chance for the power play. We haven't seen much of the power play from the Stampede, so we'll see what happens. Rooney giving chase. Nice pursuit there as Ross picks it up over the red line. Ross boogies it, loses it on the corner, but McIntosh picks that up. Colin McIntosh to the point. McCullum couldn't quite handle it well. Forces McIntosh to dump it around, and it's railed around back to McIntosh. McCullum on the point. McIntosh, McCullum. Chalice. Across to McIntosh, can't collect it, and it rolls all the way back out. McCullum with it, being harassed. He's got some momentum past Vesper. He's got Daigle to beat. Shot on the money. Up but not out. Cross ice to McIntosh. McIntosh fakes the shot. Chalice takes that low shot just wide. And McIntosh.
He's just Rooney out of position. Up.
Shot. Collects Freer. Lucky Freer stuck there in blocking that shot. And it's railed back around. Great chance for the Stampede here. They got to change their horses. Amston out there, who's got a dangerous shot. I think it hit a glove.
Yeah, it did hit a glove and just popped back out again.
McIntosh fakes it. This puck rolls around in front, and Chaba covers up, body and all.
Yeah, the Admirals are overloading whenever the puck gets out to that half wall. You start to see all four of them go on the strong side. It is a really risky attempt at getting some sort of
collection.
Get out.
They want to collect it, but they're not able to.
They're not collecting it, and that's going to, if they keep this up, they will give up another cross ice pass that will just tear them apart.
Right, the weak side will be very weak.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And the way you pay with that is they've spent the entire penalty kill in their own zone.
Yep, 16 seconds to go on it.
So they've done well.
They have done well considering the pressure.
Battling for it around and kept in. So you'll notice that Burns is back, being ready for that fifth player to come back on the ice. Sneaky. Rail it around to the corner.
We are back 5-on-5.
Sofer with a Sofer. Feeds behind the net. Shot. Beautiful work there by Chuba.
Great save by Chuba there to shut that down.
Bouncing puck, annoying for Burns. Fighting against Vandermeulen on that in the Stampede zone. Vandermeulen on the red line. Taps it up into Stampede area. Amston rails it around behind, but only Admirals there. Admirals stuck behind the net, but still controlling. Daigle with it now. On the blue line, Daigle off a skate. Puck in front. And it finally tapped out by the Stampede.
Yeah, a lot of dangerous opportunities in front there with all that traffic.
Daigle hits Vandermeulen, dumps it in, rolls behind the net. Daigle dumps it back in as McCullum tries to clear. Daigle can't keep it in, and he's got Roby skating in on him. Daigle giving his boys a chance to change. He's doing the little funny pointing thing. And Sestroni, big centering, and broken up by Rusky Jones. Beautiful work by Axel. Rusky Jones. Big feed forward to Vesper. Vesper. And Hurley makes a diving break. Breaks up that.
Big play to break up that Admirals offense.
Shot wide. Puck rolls to the blue line, but not out as Hayward Jones take that shot and collected by, and here's a chance for Hurley. Hurley has to skate all the way behind the net to collect it to the corner. Pushed up against the boards, but he still has it. He's got Rusky Jones with him. The other thing that's happening is time. 3 minutes.
Yes,
3 minutes. Is it the enemy? Mind you, we saw what happened, how quick things can change. Admirals. Element of urgency. Up but not out. As off of Kennedy's skate and finally flicked up straight on Chuba's stick, who bats it to Kennedy. Big lead pass. Can't center, tapped out, kicked back in, so it's delayed offside as McCullum. You notice there's one less goalie out there.
Yep.
And one more Admirals player.
2 minutes 30. Big.
So here's McIntosh with it on the blue line. Colin McIntosh hits Freer. Freer can't put it in. And McIntosh collects. He's got the point there off of a body. And here's a chance for Vandermeulen against Freer. He's got both Freers back there. And Brooks makes that kick save on the near side. Puck rolling onto the red line where McIntosh backhands it, forcing Daigle to make the save.
Goalie there.
1 minute, 2 minutes left, just under 2 minutes left as that's broken up. And Daigle with it on the red line, still being harassed, spun off the puck. And Freer feeds Ross, who saucers it down. And Harrison gives Daigle some chase, but Regan has it. Regan can't hit his mark. Connor Harrison gives chase against Daigle along the boards. Connor Harrison collects it behind the net. Harrison centers, no one there to collect that. Puck rolling on the crease. And it's just bouncing around with 1 minute, 10 seconds, just over 10 seconds, 1 minute, 10 seconds left. Scores! Chalice seals the deal.
Puts away the empty netter.
So the concern now, I'm afraid, is more of Dan Graham and Ted Graham's problem. Where do they hang another banner?
That's true. That is true. They're fast running out of room up in the rafters here in Queenstown.
1 minute left. 1 minute 10 left.
4-1.
Hard fought battle.
She's not over yet. Just need a big push from the Admirals here to maybe even this game up.
Yep, so we've got just over, 1 minute left. Rooney with it in the neutral zone. Rolls it in. Burns with it. Burns hits McIntosh. Pushes it to the red line. Kennedy with it. Kennedy to Kennedy. Rail over the red line. Rails it in. Brooks can't stop it. Amston intercepts Amston. Big saucer pass. Heading for the net, but great save. And Winston Lee has it on the blue line.
30 seconds left.
Burns, Amston, saucer again. Just keeps pushing it out. I can feel the moments counting down. Shot and off the timber with 11.6 seconds left. Yes. Holy moly.
Stampede bench is looking extremely happy.
What a goalie.
I can see. Not so much on the Admirals side, but that's to be expected, I guess.
Unbelievable. The crowd is a little bit crazy.
Getting a little electric in here. All right, puck drop. Here
Puck
we go.
drop with 10 seconds left off of a foot shot. Spinorama. Scores!
Oh, yes.
Oh, Brooksy. Disappointed off of a skate.
That is unfortunate.
Spectacular work by the Admirals, not giving up.
Absolutely, absolutely. They would be very, very happy with that one, that's for sure.
It came off, it was a good shot, but deflected right in the crease. Puck dropped. Shot again. Brooks kicks to the corner.
The clock is currently not running. There we go.
And big saucer pass. Lead
2
forward.
seconds, 1 second.
And that ends it,
That's our
folks.
game. Another championship for the mighty SkyCity Stampede.
Sky City Stampede. Another win. Boys working hard. Well deserved. The thing about this, Joel, the Admirals were in this.
They were.
And they had huge moments of brilliance. Dylan Devlin not able to participate in most of this game due to a game misconduct for elbowing to the head. But I don't think the Admirals, although losing, cannot hang their head. They played an outstanding game.
Oh,
Chubba,
absolutely.
holy moly.
Yeah, Chubba played unbelievably. Daigle, as we said before, lugging timber there. Sistrodi, they all played a great part in this series. But unfortunately, they ran into an extremely dominant Stampede team.
This is a hard barn to play in.
It is.
At the best of times.
Yes.
And this is a really interesting question. Had these games occurred in Auckland, the emotional momentum that the crowd provides, would have that changed things?
Yeah, well, I mean, they always say the fans do come into it, just the atmosphere, and you're getting cheered instead of booed at those key moments.
Booed. Stampede fans don't boo, do they?
No, definitely not. All right, see the Burgle Cup going down there.
Yes.
Down to ice level.
Shaking hands now.
Yep.
Spectacular opportunities.
Yeah, it was a great series. It was, obviously from the Auckland point of view, sad outcome for them. But, they hung in there against a very, very dominant Stampede team. First game, 2-1. 4-2 on the board here, but, empty net goal, makes a bit of a difference.
Matt spoke about that big stretch pass, and they finally changed things from that dump and chase to that stretch pass, and
got one on the board, made it a game.
The idea of maybe that could have, what would have happened if that would have been happening sooner, or in the first game, tip things over, change things.
Yeah, well, it is. As we always said, it's a game of mistakes and it's a game of momentum. You've got to, just make less mistakes than your opponent. Yeah. And ride that wave of momentum when you get the opportunity.
And when the Admirals had the momentum, that final part of the puzzle didn't occur. Yes. They had possession, they had control, they had cycling in the zone, but they couldn't get it behind Brooks.
Exactly. Well, they run into two very hot goalies with Hasselman and Brooks tonight. So, they had Chubba in net. He did an outstanding job there against, fierce competition.
Yes, so now we're going to have a whole bunch of exciting things occurring here. We've got the boys lining up on. They've got to find their gear, which is like looks like
a across the ice like a garage sale.
It reminds me of when at a graduation with the hats being thrown. So you can see the collection of hardware.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
That will be awarded shortly. I see Paris Hyde down there.
Yeah, NZIHL legend.
Yes. So the boys are still congratulating. It hasn't been all wins for the Stampede this year. A lot of wins, but a few rough games.
Oh,
and the same with the Admirals.
Yeah.
And for them to pull it out against the Swarm was spectacular.
Yeah, that was clutch for them. Yes.
All right. Just finally shaking hands here.
Well,
all right.
I mean, everyone out there on the live stream, what more could you really want? That was a, exciting game. Came down to the wire with Rooney scoring, 7 seconds left.
So what's happening now is they're just thanking all of the spectators, all the volunteers, and all the participants for their contribution. And of course, we want to thank all the franchises and to all the volunteers and for their dedication and effort to make this league what it is. We also like to say special thanks to the following organization for their ongoing support: Four Winds Foundation, the Aotearoa Gaming Trust, Pub Charity Limited, and Community Trust Southland. Your support is much appreciated. Once again, thanks to the refs and linesmen, the score bench officials for your time and contribution to 50 regular season games and the finals in this final series. So anybody that's involved in hockey, it's big thank you.
Off to all
yeah,
of
big
you
thank
out
you.
there. And to all the fans watching, it's been a great season. Thank you to everyone out there.
So, presentation to the referees for their final game, so they get themselves a little memento for their participation in this.
Yep.
From Paris Hyde.
Excellent. Oh, they did a good job on in trying circumstances. So, yeah.
This hockey fraternity is kind of like the mafia, right? You never get out.
Exactly. Once you're in, you're in.
Cam Freer would be an example. Played for many years and then
back in Paris Hyde, who's doing the presentation.
Yeah,
same
and
thing.
now they're another role.
Yep.
And you'll see a lot
even Ian Wanamaker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, still giving back. Top goaltender.
Ashton Brooks.
Ashton Brooks.
Yeah. And all these awards have been decided before this final series as well. So.
And the winner of the Dale Harrop Memorial Award for top rookie goes to the Phoenix Thunder, William Barry. So big thank you, William, for your participation this year, and congratulations. Justin Daigle, best defense.
Yep.
And so
still looking fresh as a daisy.
Fresh as a daisy.
He's ready.
He's ready to play another game. Yeah. Good heavens.
Oh, he'll be looking forward to his BHL season upcoming now, I'd say.
Nice. Top point scorer and 2024 League MVP, SkyCity Stampede, Nolan Ross. Yeah.
Absolutely clutching the glass in these two final series.
From the land of moose and maple syrup.
Indeed.
Nolan Ross.
Who would have thought a Canadian would be good at playing hockey?
Stop it. Stop it right now. Yeah. Nolan Ross, outstanding effort. He's
taken all of the awards there.
He needs some more hands.
He needs more hands for all the hardware he's taking home there.
And so the silver medals will be handed up.
So I believe that third trophy he took must be for the finals MVP, Nolan Ross, which makes total sense because he was an absolute beast in the finals.
Huge effort. So the other exciting thing that's happening next weekend, we've got here in Queenstown, the finals of the women's NZIHL WHL.
Absolutely,
And
this is going to fuel the Auckland Steel, I would say, to come down
Yeah,
here.
they're
and
going to
put
be.
it down there on the
The
Wakatipu
top, I
Wild.
think Auckland's on the top of the table, and we've got Canterbury, Infernos, Thunders from Dunedin, and of course the Wakatipu Wild will be playing here. So hockey ain't over.
Yes, I'll be doing the commentary for the Saturday as well, I believe, for those 2 games. And
Wonderful.
You'll be down on the bench.
Yes, with Colin McIntosh, who's also the coach. Then we have in Dunedin, we'll have the World's competitions in early next year.
Yep,
And that'll be,
exciting.
so hockey just keeps rolling on, and New Zealand just keep moving up the food chain in that, showing that they are definitely a presence to be recognized with hockey. So
big shout out to the West Auckland Admirals here as well, currently coming up and receiving their silver medal, runner-up medal, whatever you want to call it.
Silver medals, yep.
Silver medals. They put on an outstanding fight again against a really, really strong Stampede team, but nothing against them to battle through to actually make it to
make it here. Yeah, that
series.
game against those games against Swarm.
Absolutely.
And here we go. Mitchell Freer leading the charge for the gold medal.
And Stampede here. He gets 2.
Yeah, it's tangled up there. So for Hurley.
Just a great effort again from this dominant Stampede dynasty, you know.
So I believe Axel Rusky Jones is heading off this Thursday back to the States. So he doesn't get to hang up his skates.
I was about to say, it's doing wonders for him. You watch a lot of these young guys who
spend
play
time
here, come up through the junior ranks, head overseas,
play
get a
some more
season or 2 under their belt, and then come back. And he had a dominant role with the Stampede this year.
Fantastic, yeah. Logan Campbell, like I was saying, picked up by Ventura this year, and so he'll be involved in a lot of skating.
Exactly, and it's amazing.
And
it just makes the league so much better. And I'm sure there's a lot of Admirals guys and guys throughout all the leagues, all the teams in New Zealand who are going to be heading overseas to play in some other leagues and get that experience and then bring it back home here.
Fantastic. So all the administration and coaching staff getting their medal.
Nate Hedwig down there.
Dylan Devlin being slung on, being given his medal by Ross, and trying to be coerced out onto the ice.
Yeah,
that would be a disappointing last game for him this year because.
No, they've said he's not allowed to come out, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. And here it is.
We'll pay the fine, Devlin. Don't worry.
The official Burl Cup being presented to Captain Mitchell Freer.
All right, we have Gunther Bergel out here presenting the cup to Freer.
And there it is again.
The crowd goes wild.
Yes. This is an outstanding group of fans. And to you watching, I'm sure you're all quite excited. Sadly, the feeling in the barn at the moment.
Yeah, Freer handing it off to Ross there. Again, pivotal player this season for the Stampede. CMAC, another pivotal player.
Yeah, they're all.
And taking it for a lap around with the loyal Stampede following out there.
Sadly, the Admirals quietly moving off into the change room.
Yep.
They should not be hanging their heads. Sad they lost, but played outstanding hockey.
They did indeed.
And they kept, there was not big, there was no brouhahas, no battles, no fights, which is really shows you the classiness of that.
Yeah, that's a man who's
leading goalie for
a few times.
Leading goalie for the NZIHL, Aston Brooks.
else?
Chalice.
Yeah.
Jordan Chalice.
He'll be stoked to lift that one.
Yeah. Fans loving it. Cullen Burns. Irene, you will be so proud of your grandson right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We appreciate your watching all season. I do love it. I get all your reports. And there it is, Max McCog. Lockie Freer.
Yes, another man who's lifted that cup multiple.
All right, we're here with Mitchell Freer, Virgo Cup winner. How's that feel, saying it that way?
It's awesome, man. To finish off the way we did, really just proud of the boys. Strung there 60 minutes together, and we're here, lifting the cup. It's a great thing.
Good thing. It must feel pretty good. So, take us through the third period. Just a quick reminder. It felt cautious for a little while until you finally turned it on. How'd you feel?
It did, yeah. We kind of came into that period knowing that we weren't trying to predict the lead. We were trying to play hockey. We were trying to play to win. And they did bring it. And once we got that goal, we knew snowball. We got the momentum back. We finished it off.
Well, congratulations once again, Virgo Cup winners. Mitchell Freer, captain of the Stampede.
Oh, as you can tell, thank you, Matt Chavez. That would have been difficult down there. The noise is incredible.
Exactly. A lot of crowd noise in here.
He did a great job trying to get over the noise of the crowd as Hurley carrying that puck around, or carrying obviously tired.
The cup.
Carrying the cup around.
He spent a lot of time carrying the puck. So.
Yeah. Yes. So. And Joel Hasselman, an extremely important
Yes.
Campbell, Logan Campbell. It's been a long journey for these boys.
Coyle as well.
Yeah, Tom Coyle.
Great, like some good minutes this year. He played well. But Stefan Brothers just stepping off the ice as coach now. Sofa, another man who's been a Stampede stalwart for many years.
Many years, yeah. So that kind of winds up the men's NZIHL.
It does.
Very shortly.
Connor Harrison taking for a lap. Yes.
Dylan
Devlin out there. Taking a lap.
Yeah.
He'll be stoked to lift that bad boy, that's for sure. And always such a happy, great.
Always smiling, yeah.
Always smiling.
And Cam Freer.
Yes. Coach extraordinaire.
Yeah, the Admiral. You know,
No, I don't know who you call him, the Admiral.
just, you think that's wrong? I think he steers this ship beautifully.
He does steer his ship beautifully. Stefan Am.